Oh my god. Okay, so I just saw Batman The Dark Knight Rises and it was so good. It was so good. Oh my god. Easily one of my favorite movies that I've seen. It might just be my favorite movie now. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. Okay, first of all, Anne Hathaway surprised the heck out of me. I thought I was not rooting for her at all. I mean, when I heard that Anne Hathaway was going to be Catwoman, I was just like, really? Like, Anne Hathaway beating up dudes and being tough and being bad? There's no way that's going to happen. And within seconds of her being on screen, she just nailed it. Like, in the first couple of seconds of being on screen, she just nailed it. I can't believe it. When I was walking into the theater and, thinking about this movie, I was thinking, okay, God, I hope that Anne Hathaway is in as little of this movie as possible, but I was actually, every time she left the screen, I wanted her to come back. Like, she was so good. She just carried herself, like, with that whole Catwoman sass, and she had this way of, like, changing her tone and changing her face instantaneously to assume that Catwoman, like, prowess, and it was incredible. She brought the just the female energy that the Christopher Nolan movies kind of lacked, and she did it in a very just charged way, and it was so good. Bane was such an interesting villain because he had so much. The guy that played him, I can't recall his name, but he was in Inception, and I already had high hopes for him because he did such a good job in Inception, and I wanted to see him in more roles. But he brought just a different face to the villains in Batman. He definitely he didn't have the chaos. He didn't have the fear instilling that the Joker had, but he was the ultimate antagonist. And this is what the creators of Mass Effect failed at doing with Kai Lang. They wanted to create a anti-Shepard, but this is the perfect example. Bane is a perfect example of the anti-Batman. He is the ultimate antagonist because he's the complete match, physical match for Batman. He literally breaks Batman, and it's heart-wrenching. Like, oh my god, when they have this, like, fight at the beginning, it's hard not to cringe because they really are just, like, when you see them on screen, Christopher Nolan does this fantastic, the space that they both took up on screen. You could tell that Bane was literally the shadow of him. He was the opposite, and that's why he was such a compelling character, and the villain that was necessary for this last movie is that he reflected the flaws and the struggles of Bruce Wayne so powerfully. What else? The soundtrack. Well, it's Hans Zimmer, so of course it's fantastic. Two of the songs that I found most memorable were Bane's theme. I think it's called A Fire Rises, but I downloaded it on iTunes the other day, and it just gives that. This movie is amazing, but it wouldn't be anywhere without Hans. Just the Bane's theme is just so. It's that it's as fearful and kind of chaotic as Joker's theme in the second movie, but and it has all that thrill that kind of gets your heart beating fast. And another one that I liked was Anne Hathaway's theme. It's almost like she choreographed every movement that she made to this, because she just had that just light-footedness, that cat-like nature, and it just highlighted that. Yeah, the drama was so intense. Christopher Nolan, he faced this big challenge of having to go further than the second movie, and he raised the bar so high, higher than any other thriller, superhero type thriller. He even reinvented the superhero genre, in my opinion. If you hate that, I think that, I'm sorry, but I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, if you haven't noticed. He just upped the drama by putting so much at stake. Everything was at stake. The Joker was very unpredictable, and that was, fear-instilling, but I don't want to give too much away, but everything is at stake, and the whole time you're just, gritting your teeth and pulling out your hair, because all of this is riding on Batman and him overcoming impossible odds. Man, Christopher Nolan really needs to write a letter to BioWare about overcoming impossible odds, because he did it flawlessly. And there are so many twists in this. So many twists. I'm just gonna warn you now. Well, I guess I shouldn't warn you. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I wasn't expecting so much that happened. Usually I catch on when twists are gonna happen and stuff. I'm usually like, I can predict everything that happens, but he just tied everything in so flawlessly. He brought in images from the first the first movie. What am I talking? Game. I'm used to reviewing games, and brought it all together, and it was beautiful. I'm gonna see this tomorrow. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I just got done watching the midnight premiere. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get up tomorrow, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna drag my family, because I'm visiting them right now. I'm gonna just drag them all, and then I'm gonna babysit, and then I'm gonna go watch it again. Okay. Anyways, yeah, remember to comment, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you are just visiting my channel, I mostly review games, video games, and other nerdy stuff. So if you're into that, comment and give me any requests or whatever, because I've just started this channel out, so I'd love to hear of some new ways to make videos and whatnot. So, yep. Peace. I should come up with a better way to exit. My favorite way is still, I should go.